Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! I, Elizabeth, 45 female, went shopping at my local Kmart, a shop in Australia, as I needed a new fan for my lounge room, as it's currently summer here with an average of 38 Celsius on a cool day. Anyhow, I'm wheelchair dependent, and we will call her Carolyn. Carolyn is roughly in her mid-50s. She comes up to me and says, "You can walk, look at you. You look about 30. Just stop faking it and scamming the government and everyone around you." Then she walks off. Well, after a minute of being stunned, I got back to my shopping. My friend was pushing me around and Carolyn comes back to me and my friend. And before she could get into another rant, me and my friend tried to explain why I'm wheelchair dependent and not scamming anyone and so on. But she says, "You don't need that. The virus is over now. Go and get those food containers for me and put them in my trolley, as I know you can walk. Stop lying, young lady." My friend yelled out for security or a staff member. Luckily, a staff member arrived and got security to come as soon as possible after my friend and I explained what happened. Carolyn then had the nerve to push her trolley towards the staff member, telling her, "Go on now and get those containers for me. You work here. It's your job." Long story short, I spent around an hour longer than I was supposed to, filling out witness statements after Carolyn got arrested for assault and harassment. I was taken to the police station. I am just awaiting the court date to testify. I'm still a little shaken up from what happened, and I'm also sorry for any spelling mistakes, as English is not my first language. And I will be doing daily Rona tests at home for the next few weeks, as I have a compromised immune system. Thank you, Carolyn, for possibly making me more ill and taking my freedom away for that time period. Sorry for the super late update. I had the hearing. Wow, Australian judges do not mince words. Judge told Carolyn how disgusting her behavior was, and she should be very ashamed of herself, as she tried to say that I provoked the attack by calling her very insulting names and apparently telling her to go back to her country. I never said any of what she claimed. I'm the foreigner, not her. She did tell me during the Karen behavior in the shop to go back to my country, and I said, "Ma'am, I wish I could." Good thing I was able to call my friend as a witness to call bullcrap on her, and the security camera footage was audio. She had paid for a high-class barrister who shook his head during his testimony and even gave a small smile and nod to me after she was sentenced. Yes, she was banned from life from all Kmart stores in Australia and fined around $2,000 to go to me. No, I haven't gotten a cent yet, and after 15 days in jail, I can only hope that changes her behavior. Well, I don't think it will, but oh well. Thank you, Judge, for some real justice. This happened a while ago. So, some background. I live in a small Midwest town. I am a disabled Army veteran who gets meals on wheels. Everyone, including the mayor, police chief, fire chief, city council members, and most of the city's employees and residents knows me. I love watching the birds and squirrels, and so do my puppies. I have a large picture window. I use a heavy-duty cane to get around due to service-connected disabilities. I have severe PTSD, social anxiety disorder, and depression. I don't deal well with confrontation. I'm outside in my front yard filling the squirrel and bird feeders with peanuts and sunflower seeds. I've already filled up the bird feeders, and they are hanging from their hooks. I have a little bucket that I use to fill the feeder. My feeders are well within my property lines and about 10 feet from the house, so they are far away from the street or the sidewalk. All of a sudden, I hear the call of the wild Karen. "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?" "Huh?" was all I could stammer out. I had never met this woman before, and I knew a lot of people. "You can't put out bird feeders in the city. I was told so." Karen screamed. I've lived in the city and in my house for over 20 years, so I know it wasn't true. But about half a mile from my house was a new development, so perhaps they had HOA rules that wouldn't allow it. I've lived here for… I tried to explain, but Karen wasn't having any of it. No, you need to take them down right now. Her friend tried to hush her and say, just call the city and let them handle it. No, I yelled back, they are staying. I was a sergeant in the army and my voice carries. People came out of their houses to see what was going on. Then Karen made a really stupid move. She came onto my property and tried to take off my bird feeders. I blocked her and she shoved me. I fell to the ground and I swung my cane at her and hit her hard. Karen screamed, "You assaulted me!" "Well, you're trespassing and you pushed me." I yelled back, "I'm going to call the police." She screamed. Before Karen or I could call the police, there were 3 police SUVs on the scene. One vehicle was marked Community Service Officer, and a police chief was in it. He was delivering Meals on Wheels. A disabled Air Force vet 4 houses down got him, and so did I. The police chief saw the whole thing and called for backup. "She assaulted me, and she has bird feeders which aren't allowed." The police chief, ignoring her, asks how I'm doing and if I need an ambulance to go to the hospital. I'm on blood thinners, and when Karen pushed me, I fell really hard. So I tell him, "Yes, I fell really hard, and I'm on blood thinners." I replied. He calls for an ambulance and he gets my lunch, puts it in the fridge, gets my purse and keys, calms the puppies down and puts the radio on. They have gone bonkers seeing me get hurt. Karen, now in handcuffs, asks, "Why am I being arrested?" "For trespassing and assault," replied the police chief. Eyesight was my own eyes and I have dash cam video of it. "Sir," I piped up, "I have security cameras and they will have footage as well." He nodded. I was whisked off to the nearby hospital, non-VA. I didn't have health insurance and I had to be treated at the VA medical center, or I would have to pay the bills myself. Due to the severity of the fall, I had to stay in the ICU for several days. I had some horrible bruises and pain afterwards. I worried about how I was going to pay the hospital bills, who was going to take care of my puppies and so on, because I have no family nearby. I have a special lockbox for the police and the fire department with the house keys, so they can enter in case of emergency. Between the police and fire departments and my neighbors, my puppies were spoiled rotten. Walks, streets, and is fit as well. As for Karen, not only did she get jail time, but she also had to do 500 hours of community service, and the judge knew me and threw the book at her. She also had to pay 100% of my medical expenses, including the ambulance ride. And now for the super karma part. During her jail time, she had to come to my house dressed in her orange jail jumpsuit and do yard work, including mowing the lawn, racking leaves, pruning and picking up my dog's poop in the backyard, and refilling the bird feeders. Oh, how she hated to fill the feeders. Note: apparently Karen lived in a new development which had HOA rules. They were McMansions. I didn't see her after she finished her community service, and from what I've been told, she lost her job and her rich husband divorced her. I am not shedding a tear. So Karen, if you're out there, leave me, my birds, squirrels and their feeders alone. It legitimately pains me to write this one because I love this barbershop. My barbershop, I go there all the time along with my sons. Always great haircuts, always. Today's malicious compliance has to do with trying to simply pay the bill. One gentleman gave me my recently updated cable from dip, bull to undercut, which was great as usual. My son got his crazy 16-year-old cut. His cut took a lot longer than mine, like 3 more people got their cut. So I waited until both of them were done to pay. Then it was time to pay. As my son walked towards me, I checked his cutout with cash in hand as I heard the man yelling, "Sir! Sir! Hey! You need to freaking pay!" Okay. I started to walk towards him with my clearly visible cash, but he wasn't looking at me. He said, "You can't not pay! You come over here and pay right now!" I tried handing him cash. He slapped it out of my hand like an assault. He slapped my hand so hard that 2 of the bills fell out. Then he said, "You need to pay at this machine," slapping his hand hard on a machine. I was pissed at this point and embarrassed because I could feel the awkwardness in the air. Enter malicious compliance. I was livid. According to a forgotten comedian, that's 4 degrees past pissed. I decided, hand still stinging, that I'm choosing today to stick up for myself. I slapped my money the way he slapped my hand directly on his machine. I kept picking the machine up, the scanner, to look for a hole to put my cash into. I tried flattening it, bending it, folding it, whatever it took to shove this money into the machine. I really hammed it up like Alistair Simpson sticking his tongue out trying to put a glove on. Then it finally happened. The man finally lost his mind. "Why didn't you tell me it was cash? Why? Why?" I could have argued. I just stood there staring, knowing he would spin himself into a tizzy. He totally did, but not in a way I could have expected. He ripped through my money in the air, yelled and walked away, pushing pauper chairs that other people were sitting in. Everyone was yelling back at him. It would have been more entertaining if I wasn't worried this dude was going to end up in handcuffs by day's end. I didn't stay around to find out though. And yeah, both barbers got an $8 tip. They had to sweep it up now though. To those who will most assuredly ask, I have decided not to press charges as of yet. I really have no intention of doing so. I really have no idea if I'm going back. Maybe I'll make a joke of it, waving my cash in the air upon entry. The other barbers there really didn't seem to react in a way that indicated this was anything new. Update: how the turntables. So I go back and forth about what to do because we've been coming to this barber exclusively for the last 8 months or so. Minus an occasional touch-up here and there at quick clips, I know. I decided to call and, well, I don't know what I was going to say or even start. Luckily, I didn't have to say much. As soon as the barber answered, not the angry one, it was all apologies, profusely apologizing. Ever since passed, our father has not been the same, and we've talked about this with him. He added a bunch of other age-related excuses that garnered my sympathy and made me look at things in a new light. Well, the light has been shining the whole time, I just had my eyes opened, but I should have seen the clues. She took 5 times as long, easily, as everybody else. They have his chair way back in the corner, away from the front window. There were signs I clearly ignored. Being an older individual myself, I didn't want to pigeonhole this guy based on his salt and pepper hair. But I should have taken a step back instead of clapping back at a 60-plus-year-old guy. I am definitely chalking this one up as a mulligan for both of us. I'm a business owner in another country with very strict libel laws. If you say something bad about someone, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. If it costs them money, they can sue you. It's the law in my country and people get sued for it a lot. Just to give an example, if you are a man and you are cheating on your wife and I tell your boss, this man is cheating on his wife, and your boss fires you, you can sue me because you lose your job because I told your boss, even though it is true that you are cheating on your wife. Stupid law, I think. If not true, I understand, but if true, why illegal? Anyway, my country is not perfect. So I own a restaurant and my restaurant is very successful. I try to take care of my customers and I'm always at my restaurant making sure my staff is doing a good job. I also always have events and parties. This, I think, helps my restaurant be successful. So not too long ago, I moved my restaurant to a better location. And shortly after, the restaurant owner across the street started to threaten me. She said I was telling people she had illegal people work for her. She said I told people she was selling drugs. She said I was saying she was ripping people off. But I didn't know any of this. I don't even know her. I'm busy. I have a restaurant and family and a normal job too. Then one day she sent me a message and says I need to pay her $25,000 or she will sue me. I need to pay that $25,000 because it's less than what the court could make me pay. I'm angry. I don't know why I need to pay $25,000 for something I didn't do. I think she was just mad at my success. My partner, who is American, told me I should speak to a lawyer. It was very stressful. I just want to do business and live a happy life. I don't want to fight over stupid stuff, but after a few weeks of her texting me and demanding I pay her money, I went to a lawyer. My lawyer told me that I could sue her for blackmail, and she could sue me for saying bad things about her. I told my lawyer I didn't say anything good or bad about her. I don't even know her. If my lawyer says that's fine, then that's fine, because she will have to prove I said bad things about her. And if I didn't say anything bad about her, then she can't win. But I can't prove she tried to blackmail me. If she wants money out of me for saying bad things about her, she needs to sue me, not blackmail me. So I sued her. It took a long time, a very long time. Over 1 year in fact. Lots of paperwork, back and forth, waiting, very stressful. I was pulling out my hair. I'm just glad my boys kept me happy and focused. And then a day comes when we go in front of the judge. The judge said she can't prove I said anything bad about her. And since she can't prove I said anything bad, she gets nothing. The judge then told me that I needed to get paperwork showing how much money I paid my lawyer. I was smart and I brought it with me. My lawyer was very expensive. The judge then asked how much money my business made. I told the judge and I also brought proof. The judge then ordered her to pay 10% of my whole year's money because she was trying to blackmail me. And that is not okay. 10% was a lot of money, a lot more than the 25k she had to sell her restaurant to pay me. I was so happy, but you see, she had a problem. She couldn't sell her restaurant. No one wanted to buy it because many people say my restaurant put her restaurant out of business. So why do they want to buy it? When they give her a price, it's a very low price, not enough to pay me or give her enough money to do something else. So I told her, let's make a deal. You give me your restaurant and we say everything is even. She said that's too much money, so I promised to pay her a little bit every month as a rent. And she agreed because she had no choice. So I bought her restaurant. I got it for a very good price because she had to pay me and she had no money. In my country, if a judge tells you that you have to pay something and you can't pay it, one day they will send you to jail. So I took her restaurant and turned it into a restaurant, which is also doing well. And now I have 2 great restaurants and I'm happy again. It was a very stressful 18 months. I didn't want to fight her. I don't know why she tried to fight me. I think she was just mad. She was always mad and mean, which is why I think no one liked her.
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.